Hi, I'm former NCUA Executive Director Mark Treichel. Today I'm here to explain NCUA's new subordinated debt rule and what this rule means for you. The rule amends various parts of NCUA's regulations to permit three types of credit unions to issue subordinated debt for purposes of regulatory capital. What three types, you might ask? Well, that's low-income credit unions, complex credit unions, and new credit unions. I also want to mention that the rule does not go into effect until January 1, 2022. What does that mean for the interim period? Well, if you issue secondary capital before then, it'll be grandfathered under the old rules. In general, the rule includes some welcome new permissions, but the rule is also more prescriptive than the existing secondary capital rules in many ways. Now, new permissions include the ability of non-low-income complex credit unions to issue subordinated debt, the eligibility of natural person accredited investors to purchase subordinated debt, and more flexibility to prepay subordinated debt. The biggest win of these three, by far, is the ability of non-low-income complex credit unions to issue subordinated debt and count it towards their risk-based capital requirements. Among the more prescriptive changes are more administrative burden included in the application process, a longer review period for NCUA and state regulators, increased documentation and process requirements, and a prohibition of issuing and investing in subordinated debt at the same time. Now, NCUA believes these burdens will not hamper smaller credit unions that are low income, and I hope that proves to be correct. To see how this new rule on subordinated debt impacts you, we need to put you into one of three categories: those that are not eligible, those that are currently eligible, and those that are newly eligible. Now, who's not eligible? 2,200 credit unions are not eligible, and that's because they are not designated as a low-income credit union, and they are not designated as a complex credit union. Complex meaning greater than $500 million in assets. Then there's those credit unions that are currently eligible, roughly 50% of credit unions, or 2,600 credit unions. If you are designated as a low-income credit union, you are currently eligible. That allows you to count secondary capital in your GAAP net worth ratio. That's great. In addition, if you are a low-income credit union and you are a complex credit union, you are now eligible under the new rule to have secondary capital / subordinated debt count towards your risk-based capital requirements. The third group are newly eligible credit unions totaling roughly 300, or 6% of total credit unions. These newly eligible credit unions are designated as complex because their asset size is greater than $500 million. And because of that, under the new rule, subordinated debt counts as risk-based capital in their risk-based net worth capital calculation. That's very good news for these credit unions, and it's a new offering that might help them and their capital plans. The new subordinated debt final rule is complex and multifaceted. The changes to the existing secondary capital framework and the new requirements are extensive. I recommend any credit union interested in this new rule study it closely. In total, I believe the rule could represent a very positive development to the credit union industry. It's clear the NCUA board takes secondary capital and subordinated debt seriously, and I'm hoping that trickles down to the field staff level. Lastly, if you are going to be considering this, you really should hire an expert. Now, I don't offer this service, but I am familiar with someone who does and does it very well, and I'm going to leave their contact information in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions, please feel free to comment below or reach out to me via email at info@marktreichel.com. I'll see you down the road with more videos of this type. When NCUA makes regulation changes, you'll see me talking about them here. Thanks again for your time.